What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dan in the building with Let That Be Known Sports. We're in the building today talking about our Dallas Mavericks today. They had a game against the Utah Jazz where they came up a little short, and we're here to talk about the potential of this team. And here's my co-host.
What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your boy John. Yeah, so we're about to get into it. So grab yourself something to drink, sit back, relax, and let that be known. All right. So what's going on, bro? What's going on with this game on tonight? The Jazz won this one 107 to 102. Lauren Marketing went for 26, and Dane Gafford scored 15 off the bench as a team high for us. What's your thoughts on this game?
It it was good to finally see Klay, and to me the most watching this game. Like you missed the engine or the connector or the magician that connects all the pieces,
Hmm.
and that's Luka Doncic. Like you have all these pieces on the floor, and normally all these guys are getting good looks because of Luka Doncic.
Right.
Tonight they kind of had to create their own looks and things of that nature, and it was a bit of a struggle. Um, and really just trying to feel their way out in the game. I thought they picked it up in the second half. I thought they was really sloppy in the first half. I mean, they was just turning the ball over left and right, and it was like, man, y'all are just giving them free baskets. But overall, was happy with some of the pieces. I seen, and there's one piece that just concerns me, and that's Omax. You know,
Yeah, so it looked like he
I know
started
he's
tonight.
young, and he did start. Concerns me because when the coach normally does that, when he puts you in there with the starters, he's trying to give you a fresh shake. He's really trying to see. He's trying to put you in the best position to where you can really shine. Hey, I'm gonna take pressure off of you. I'm gonna
Mhm.
put you in a position where you can really shine. And he plays hard, but he just doesn't have the basketball skill to um, accompany the hard playing. He plays hard, but he still can't shoot worth a lick. His dribbling is not that good. Um, he just kind of all over the place. You know, what was your thoughts on it?
Um, so I mean, I saw forget a few good things. It was good to see Kyrie back tonight. Also Klay, let them get out there. Get a little run in. Um, and so I was surprised that they did put Omax in the starting lineup. Considering he's not really, he really hasn't taken that next step. Um, and I kind of believe what you were saying, far as Jason Kidd is trying to give him a fair shake or a shot at the very least, to say, okay, you can't say at the end of the day that you didn't have a shot. I'm giving you shot after shot, to to show us something that you're taking that next step, to where it's almost look like he's still in a high school ball type of
Exactly.
phase, where it's when it comes to you know making the move or just knowing just how the flow of the offense is going. He just, outside of cutting or anything like that, he's it's kind of just standstill, low IQ. Um, I know they gave him a chance in summer league this year, to kind of show what he can do, see if he made that next step. And in the summer league, it was kind of the same thing. And then, okay, you coming into training camp, let's see if you took what the coaches said in summer league, and let's see if you worked on it there. And it's the same ordeal. And I don't mean to pile on the kid. I know he's still fair. Well, he's not fairly young because he did 4 years at Marquette. So he's
Hmm.
going on 22, 20, well, it's 23, 24 maybe, going into his second year. So probably 20, yes, about 23. And so, for you to not take that next step, um, that is alarming, especially when you came in with D Live. And D Live, you can tell that he's taking that next step. It's
You
obvious.
could tell his first year.
It jumps off the page. And even last year, like as raw as he was last year, you could tell he continued to get better and better and better. And like I said, even going into this year, you can see different nuances that he's added to his game or that he's unlocked. Because the potential was there, it's just a matter of it being unlocked. But with Omax is it just ain't clicking for us, especially to be picked as high as he was. That plays another part into it. Yeah, that's tough.
I think the biggest thing, especially for me, like young talent that's coming into the NBA, I always look at, even though you got to develop, even though you got to grow, and sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you're a
Mhm.
late bloomer, but I always look at what do you do well. You have to have something good
Your
about you.
niche, yes,
Yeah, like you might can't do this, you might can't do that, you might can't do this well, but like I can really do this. It's almost like
right.
the Jaden Hardy. Like Jaden Hardy couldn't do a lot of things, but we knew he could score.
He can score that ball.
Like he couldn't do a lot of things well. Like he
Hmm.
couldn't play make. He made bad decisions. Um, um, he couldn't. He didn't know where to be all the time. He was
Hmm.
always out of place. He didn't give a lot of effort on defense, but he could score.
He can score.
And so, when you look at guys, you say, okay, what do you do well so we can build off of that, you
Right.
know, and that kind of helps you to hang around as the other stuff develops. But,
Hmm.
he really has nothing that he can hang his hat on because he's not a lockdown defender. So
No.
um, he has nothing he can hang his hat on. Kind of reminds me of like, the Thompson twins.
Mm.
One in Houston, one in I think Detroit.
Yeah.
They can't really shoot a lick, but boy, they can defend. They tell all.
No, that's
They can
facts.
defend. They can really defend. They're super athletic.
Hmm.
And as a coach, you can work with that. If you got a guy, man, shoot, he can't really do nothing else, but shoot, he can defend. Like we
Facts.
can we can we can let your shooting develop because we have something that we can hang our hat on. But when you don't have nothing you can hang your hat on, man, it's kind of hard to justify you being
Right.
on an NBA roster. And we're talking about NBA, like we're not talking about high school, college. We're talking about the highest level of basketball. And there's a lot less grace. I have a lot less grace for guys. If you make it to the pros, like you should be able to hoop.
Facts.
Like just point
Facts.
blank period. You should be able to hoop. Now, whether you know how to put it all together, like, but we should see something like, man, homie can hoop.
Or you should hone in on this or focus in on this. No, that's facts. And then
It's too
especially
many
even,
people in there, man.
yeah, especially you was a 4 year start. I don't want to say 4 year starter, but you did 4 years. So you, if anything, you should came in more, even more ready. Um, I would think, so it is a lot less grace. Um, you should have, whatever your niche is going to be, came in and focused on that, and then everything else, will come around. Because even some of the best players that came in, they weren't great shooters. You know, they had a niche and worked around that niche, and then eventually the shooting part came for some. But I don't know if it's a system issue where he just needs something that's more just run a gun where it's less thinking. Um, I'm not sure if that's the case, or I mean, we tried the G League thing last year, which he did well. It just when he gets called up and he gets in the game, and it
Well,
doesn't translate.
you and I both know that comes a point in the game to where you're gonna have to know how to play in the half court. Like,
That's true.
and this is the thing that's crazy. Like, I hate guys who get to that level and who get a chance to play pro ball who can't play ball. Like, it's too many guys in the NBA who do not know how to play basketball. Like, they either really tall, they really athletic, or they just play hard, but they have no skill when it comes to the game of basketball. And that really irks me when I see guys out there like you making all this money and you have no skill. Like, and we can put this to every profession. Like, whatever you do in life, if you're working with somebody in your profession and they have no skill in your profession, just think about how annoying that would be.
No, that's facts.
Like, I deal with it all the time as a musician. If you sit down with another musician, and you guys are playing a song and he doesn't have the basic skill to get through this song, like, that irks me. Like, especially if we're getting paid, like, that irks me. Like, how do you not have the basic skill to do this?
Right.
And that's where I translated to, the NBA. Like, man, you don't have the basic skill to just hoop.
So, uh, I got a question. With especially so many young guys coming in with the same type of ordeal going on, where they don't know how to play basketball. They only know pickup style. What do you attribute that to? Do you attribute that to, back to AAU days, or would you their college system or lack of college? What do you attribute that to?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's AAU, as well as high school, as well as college, because most guys that are NBA or that are in the NBA, they was the best player on the AAU team. They was the best player in high school on their high school team, and some of them might have been the best player on their college team. And so they're used to having the ball in their hands. They're used to everything running through them. But when you get to the NBA, if you don't know, most people should that 9 times out of 10 you're going to be a role player.
Mm,
And just to give you an example of what I mean, if you go look up Patrick Beverly in high school,
killing.
Patrick Beverly was averaging almost 40 points in high school.
Yep.
Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And he's been a role player for his whole career, but he averaged almost 40 in high school. Just to give you an understanding of what I'm saying for
Right.
those who don't comprehend that when you're in high school or college, there's very few players that are coming in. They're going to have the keys to a franchise to where we're running everything around you. We're building around you.
Hmm.
When you come in, it's going to be a get in type of where you fit in type of ordeal.
Right. No, and I think that's yeah. I would attribute it back to well, yeah. I would even go back to AAU and the lack of accountability um, that they have, they don't have rather. Um, you know they you know they can get away with whatever they want. They don't. If they're not forced to learn the fundamentals, um, and forced to face adversity. Um, and so they make it a cakewalk for them now until you get to the NBA where you're gonna have to adjust, and where you so used to being the guy, you're gonna be just a guy, and you have to be able to adjust to that and find whatever your niche is and fall into that and flourish in that. Yes, it's less than 1% of those guys that when they get to the next, to the NBA level, that's actually gonna still be the guy. Less than 1%, I would say. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I guess at this point, can that be rectified, or is it
It ain't gonna
gone
never.
too
It
far
ain't gonna
gone?
never. It ain't gonna never change. It's gonna get worse. It's worse from when we grew up. Um, now kids are treated like superstars in high school or superstars in AAU. Like you're treated like the guy, you know, from 12 on up. Like you're treated like that guy, and so like it's not gonna ever change. Like most of the time, guys aren't humble until they get to the NBA. Like
Mm,
and some guys can't bounce back from that, or they can't accept that. Like they can't accept that humbling experience. Like, nah, this is who you are. Like
right,
you're a role player. Like most guys can't accept that, you know, that role or that humbling experience. Like,
right.
man, I thought I was a superstar. I ain't nothing but, a role player. They try to make me just a role player.
No, you gotta get with it to get in. Um, yeah. So I guess especially with this NIL money, that yeah, it's gonna make it hard to reel that back in. Um,
I mean,
especially
not even just the NIL money. Like that ain't even the issue. The issue is social media. Like when I
getting
grew up,
all the hype.
when I grew up, you had to earn your hype because it was word of mouth.
Yeah,
It wasn't no social media about where you can see who the best, who gonna do this.
right.
Like how we knew who the best was because somebody told me homie be hooping.
Hooping, yeah.
And
He's
he go
like
to this
that.
school. He go to
Mm-hmm.
that school. He like that. That's how we knew who was who. And for you to get another guy to tell you that he's good, he had to be really good.
Yeah. No, that's facts. Yeah, everybody got their own mixtape now.
Hmm.
um, and I guess it's even getting worse now to like these phenomenons that's in high school. They can't even get to the next level of college and thrive. It's so many of those that they don't even get there. They start believing their own hype and they don't put the work in, the right work in, to get better, to develop. Um, and so now it's starting to trickle into the NBA at a more of a, I would say, alarming rate. Um, yeah, they can do the one and dones, but is it really serviceable? The ones, for the most part, the ones that are being one and done. Now there are some where like, okay, yes, absolutely, this is guaranteed, yeah.
I
But
I would say that most of them could be successful if they will humble themselves and they will put the work in where they have to put the work in. So if you get to the NBA and the coaching staff or the GM is telling you like, hey, this is the role we see for you. We see
mhm,
that you are a six man, or we see that you are a 3 and D guy. We see that that you are this type of guy. You
right,
know, instead of you accepting that role and in the off season you work as if you are playing that role. Most guys go to the off season, they work as if they the superstar. Like when you go watch their
facts.
off season workouts, they're doing stuff like as if they're the number one guy on the team.
Stuff
And
that never.
you wonder why you come back in the season like, man, he didn't work on nothing. Like he didn't get better. Like, nah, he got better at ISO moves, but he don't ISO on this team.
Hmm. Never will.
If you're not ISOing on your team, that should be a very minimal part of your offseason workout.
Facts.
Like, but
Facts.
I see guys do this all the time. I when I watch their off-season workouts, I see guys do this, and it irks me. It's like, man, he's not even that type of player. He won't even have the ball in his hands. Like, why is he doing this? Like, he's working on breaking people down and doing this, and
Hmm.
like, man, he's supposed to be a catch and shoot guy. And I give this before I turn it over, and I'm gonna give him credit for this. My boy PJ Washington,
Mm. Facts.
Dallas home. He was a big time player. Went to Kentucky. Was a big time player coming out of Kentucky. Went to Charlotte. Was a go to guy in Charlotte. Long and behold, he ends up getting traded to Dallas. And you're used to being a go to guy. And when you get traded to this team, they tell you you're a 3-and-D guy. Like, hey, I know over there you've been getting that ball. But over here, you're a 3-and-D guy.
You're 3 and D guy.
And this is what I'm talking about, the humbling experience. Because you can do it if you're humble enough, if have enough humility to
Right.
say, okay, if I want to stick around, if I want to thrive, I'm gonna embrace this. And to watch PJ embrace that role, a role that he's never been in before. He
Enforcer.
wasn't a he wasn't a 3-and-D guy. He embraced the role that the Mavericks gave him, so much so that they was able to get to the finals because of the piece that he played.
No, that's a great example of it. Being you being a 5-star athlete, going to Kentucky, then the first round pick, and then when you get into Charlotte, you're the second option on the
Hmm.
team, then going to being the third or fourth option, a 3D guy, the dirty work guy, to have
Unsung hero.
unsung hero, man, because we wouldn't have got there without him. Um, Sure, I don't even know if we would really got to the playoffs without him, to be honest, because what we had at first, it was not it. Um, but for him to have that mentality, um, to adjust to whatever the team needs, I'm that guy, and thrive in it and work at it. Man, hats off to him, man. We need more like him, for sure. That's the way to be successful in this league. Um, that's the way to stay around in this league, where you're wanted. You know, because he could have came in easily, been like, "Hey, I was a first round pick. I was averaging, uh, was it 23 in Charlotte?
Hmm.
I was getting this many shots. I wasn't the enforcer. I didn't have to be the enforcer there. And come here and embrace that and have one of the most iconic memes, I would say, in the last couple years, the standing on business. I mean, we like I said, we need more of that. That's how you
But
last in the league. If you look at the
we
people
throw
that's
we we throw that word around. This is an important word, man. Being coachable.
facts,
We throw this word around a lot, especially in the sports arena, in the sports space. You hear a lot of people say, "Man, you got to be coachable. You got to be coachable." Being coachable meaning I'm willing to do whatever the coach deems necessary for our success.
right?
That's the definition of being coachable. Like, I'm willing to be my best self in whatever area the coach puts me in.
No, it's that's a lost art, man. That's a lost art. Being coachable now is they only want to hear they only want to hear from the coach. What they want to hear. They don't want to hear what they need to be told. Um, far as what they need to work on, or if they slipping, or if they doing something wrong to get on their rear end. You do that now, they fold. They ready to request a trade. They're ready for the coach to be fired. Things like that. Instead of getting in there, working on what they're saying and improving, or adjusting. I know you was doing this, but we need you. You'll serve us better. You serve the team better doing this. Um, but now it's a lost art. But like like we
It
were
really
saying,
is.
it, it starts back way back in, I would say, AAU high school days. That's where they just let them get away with whatever, just for the sake of
And
having them on the team.
this is where, like, you do a deep dive into it. Why so many guys who aren't highly touted last longer in the NBA than so-called star players,
Facts.
so-called these first-round picks, these these lottery picks. Like when you look at guys who've been around, like they wasn't highly touted.
Mm-mm.
Like when you look at the Giannis's, not highly touted. He wasn't a lottery pick. When you look at Jokic, Jokic wasn't a lottery pick. Jokic was
Second
second
round.
round.
Yep.
When you even look at Steph, they was talking about trading Steph. They
Yep.
said that was a stupid move to even have pick Steph. They
Draymond,
wasn't going to
second
work
round.
out. Draymond, second round.
Hmm.
When you start going down the line of these people, Luka Doncic, oh man, he can never play in this league.
Too
Man,
slow.
he too slow. He'll never play in this league. You can just keep going down the line of guys who are star players in this league,
Hmm.
and you're like, man, they overshadowed the guys who were ahead of them, or guys who are no longer in the league anymore. And those are like top guys that that are around, even like Jimmy Butler,
Hmm.
like
Facts.
coming out of Marquette, you know, Jimmy Butler, you know, Jimmy Butler is one of those rare superstars who was a role player turned into a superstar. Because
Yeah.
when he went to the Bulls,
He was a
he was riding
project.
a pine, and he was just a defensive guy.
Hmm.
He couldn't score, he couldn't shoot. He was just a defensive guy.
No, he was definitely one of those projects there, and he honed on that for the first few years in his career, and then started to add the offensive side of it, for as the shot making, the shooting ability. Still not the best shooter, but he does know how to score. Um, so with that, going on, I mean, it's we need more of that, rather than just going off of just pure athletic ability or talent. Um, Dang, did we lose you? Yeah, we lost you, man. You gotta come back in, go back out, come back in, see if that'll help. Um, we'll keep going here. Um, but back to what we were saying about the guys that wasn't so highly touted in this league. They the ones that work the hardest. They the ones that are coachable. Um, they're the ones that understand what needs to be done to stay in the league, and not only stay in the league but to thrive in the league, rather than just coming in and just depending just totally on you solely on your talent, and thinking that the world revolves around you. It's only a handful of those guys that came in, and was the guy from day one. You had the Jordans, the LeBrons,
The
KD.
Clay.
Um,
Um,
you there?
yeah, I'm here. We got John back. He's back with us.
Okay, okay. So you okay? I think both of us was glitching. Um,
Oh,
so I was going on. So I was just just speaking about Um, what we were just speaking about as far as the guys that wasn't so highly talented, but they work ethic and their ability to be coached. Uh, is what it was the reason for them to thrive and to last in this league. It's only a handful of guys that um, that came in as the guy. The Jordans, the LeBrons, KD, them type of guys. Because even when Kobe came in, he wasn't the guy off the bat. He had to work. So
Mhm.
you do. It's only a handful, small handful of guys that came in, out, out the gate and was the guy from the jump, and then not only was the guy, but stayed the guy. So, um, but we need more people to have that mentality, like the ones that not so highly touted. Um, I would say. Um, and so, but what are your thoughts on it? You have any other thoughts in regards to the game on tonight?
Um, well, I was just saying that we got one more preseason game, and
Hmm.
I was really hoping and wishing that we can get everybody on the floor. Luca, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen PJ. Hoping to see PJ on the floor. Hoping to see the starting lineup that we will have coming up when the season starts. Um, and then two, hoping that Dallas don't get off to a slow start to the season.
Yeah, that's been our Achilles heel. Um, Started out the gate that way. Um, Looks like we have two more preseason games. I think they playing a total of four this year. It looks like, or at least Dallas is. So it looks like we play the Clippers next. Um, let's see, do we play in LA for that one? Of course, it'll be without your boy Kawhi, uh,
Mhm.
who's not too fond of his team or the roster, I would say. Um, Before even a game was played, well, a game was played, but wasn't too fond of the roster that was
Mhm.
put around them or him,
Yeah,
even though he's not
yeah.
available as
He.
usual.
I can't believe. I couldn't believe he said he made that kind of statement. Um, to a team. To his teammates, or to make that kind of statement publicly. That. Man, that's you talking about bad for team chemistry. That's bad for team chemistry. You know, but you know, these guys are so highly on certain guys in the league. Like, I just have to say it. Like, I don't know why people are so high on Russell Westbrook. I don't know why people are so high on James Harden, on Paul George, um, and a number of other people. Like, I don't know why they're um, so high on these guys. Like, these guys are good players. Don't get me wrong, but these guys aren't winning players to me. And what I mean by that is, if they are the leaders, or if they are the go-to guys on your team, it doesn't result to you winning or going to the finals. Because we
Yeah,
all know everybody plays different when it gets to the playoffs.
yeah, it gets tight. That's when it gets tight. Um, and so you got to have a sure enough dog. When in those tight situations there. Um, I mean, it just starting with Russell Westbrook. So what you were saying, they take his, I guess I would say his tenacity, his yeah, I would say his tenacity, and they consider that as you know he's a top guy. Now don't and like you were saying, not saying he's not a good player or anything like that, but for what they have him touted as, that's not gonna win you anything. Um, he's especially at this point in his career, especially with him not developing a consistent jump shot, he's becoming more of a liability than he is an asset. And so that's the reason for the multiple teams in multiple years. This is his going on his what 15,
I think so.
15 in roughly 6 to 7 years. Um, and it's all kind of been the same issue, wherever he's been. Instead of him adjusting or even trying to develop a consistent jump shot, it's still these guys are not going to just let you just come down the lane anymore. They're going to sag off of you and force you to shoot. And year after year, you consistently still hasn't worked on your jump shot enough to where you become a threat. Literally, when he played us in the playoffs last year in the first round, we turned our backs on him.
Yeah, they just was not guarding him when he was at 3 point line. They just was in the paint.
In the paint, we literally turned our backs. You know how disrespectful that is for someone that just to turn their backs on you. Like, we have this much confidence that you're not gonna make this. That I'm gonna get in a position to for this rebound. That's crazy. And for Paul George even admitted that he's not that guy. He's a second option. Um, and then I would even say the second option is kind of iffy there because
Yeah, I wouldn't
LA he
at
was
this point
that,
in his
and
career.
he last year when they need their second option to step in and stand up, he was not there. He folded. Um, so he's more of a third option guy, talented guy, good player. Just he's just not that guy, and there's not many guys that are. Um, and with James Harden, it's been proven that, especially in the playoff situations when it gets tight,
The
he
thing
doesn't
the
rise to
thing
the
that hin-
occasion.
the thing that hinders James is the game isn't called the same way as it is in the regular season.
Hmm.
So he's what we would call a free throw merchant.
Mm.
He lives at the free throw line. A lot of his points come from the free throw line. And when you get to the playoffs, most of the time the referee they're not giving you that. They're not gonna give you those tic tac fouls. They're not gonna give you those fouls where you're running into people trying
Right.
to get calls. They're not giving you that. So when he's not getting that, now you have to really get those buckets, and you're not shooting 10 to 15 times at the line. The same way with Joel Embiid. Like in the regular season, Joel Embiid, boy, he at that free throw line so much, it's ridiculous. They're like, oh yeah, he got 70. I was like, do you see how many free throws he shot?
Yep. Getting 20 to 30 free throws.
Like, yeah, he's gonna get 70. But um, one thing I want to pose to the people that are watching in the comments, I want you guys you know to leave your top 10, your top 8 teams in the West, and leave your top 8 teams in the East. And we're
For
going to
sure.
give our top we're going to give our top 8 teams in the East, and we'll see how close we can get with our top 8 teams versus your top eight teams and see if we can see if we're pretty close.
Oh yeah, most
John,
definitely.
John, you can
Hmm.
start with your top eight teams
Ooh, top 8 teams in the. You
in the
starting in the
East.
East or the West?
In the East,
In the East. Ooh, so the East look like it's gonna have uh some competition this year. Let me see here. So I will start. I mean, I will have to put Boston still up there. They still have a lot of their team intact. At least their core. Um, Got to put New York in there. Philly. Um, Milwaukee. Uh, Let me see. I will put.
let's sorry, chat. Let's do top six, the ones that's gonna avoid the play in.
Okay,
Let's do
for the
top
play.
six.
Okay,
Let's do
so
top six, chat.
we're gonna do Boston, New York. We're gonna do Philly, um, Indy, Milwaukee, and then I would venture to say this is my this is my wild card, Orlando.
I don't think they're much of a wild card no more. I think.
That's
But you left
that.
out one. You left out one team. We'll see.
Oh, what
Cleveland.
should no? I think
They
there'll be
got
a play.
injured.
I
They
think
got
there'll be a.
injured.
I think there'll be
They
a
beat.
playoff.
They beat. They beat Orlando injured.
But Orlando's going to be better. I think it was more so that Cleveland just had experience on their side than Orlando at the time. I think I think Paulo is going to come back better,
So do
be
you
able to
think?
shoot
Do you
better.
think? Do you think that he is a number one?
Um, it's to be determined, and I'm interested to see this year if he takes that next step. Now, this year here will let me know for sure that if he's that. If not, then he will be a really good number two. Um, so I'm interested to see if he'll take that next step to improve his shooting.
Do you think
Uh,
he's better than Donovan Mitchell?
ah, that's tough because of the experience factor. Because they both kind of, far as playoff experience, is
Donovan Mitchell got way. Donovan Mitchell got a lot of playoff experience.
no, you got playoff experience. Well, I mean playoff success. Um, I think this year it's gonna have a lot riding on it for Paulo. Um, at least for me to see if that next step will be taken. Um, to see if he can actually be that guy. I mean, they put him in that role. Being the number one pick, but it's one thing to be placed in a role, but it's another to actually thrive in a role and be that. Um, Now, I wouldn't say at this particular moment that he's better than Donovan. Potentially wise, he could be, but a lot of that depends on if he took the time to uh develop a consistent jumper uh going forward, because that'll open up a whole lot more for him um with his game. Um and a lot of especially a lot of young players, they kind of fail to realize that if I can get this consistently here, this will open up so much on the floor for me. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't say at this particular time he's better than Donovan, but he does have the potential to be. What's your top six?
My top six is going to be, and this is my top six is predicated as if everyone is healthy. This is,
Right.
assuming that everyone will be healthy. My top six will be New York at the number one seed. It'll be Boston at the number two seed. It'll be Philly at the number three seed. It'll be uh, it'll be Indy at the number four seed. It'll be Milwaukee at the number five seed, and at the
Mm.
sixth seed, I got I have Cleveland at the sixth seed, and I
Okay,
got
so
Orlando on the outside.
on the outside. So okay, so you have New York, Boston,
Hmm.
then you had
Philly,
Philly, then
then Indy,
Indy, in
then Milwaukee,
Milwaukee, and then you had Cleveland,
Cleveland.
and then
I
oh man,
have Orlando at seven
so you
because
got Atlanta on the outside.
they have a they have a lot of unanswered questions. Like we know Paulo is good, but who's going to be that definitively? Who's definitively the number two guy?
Right.
You know, I know they're going to play hard, but like when it comes to playoff time, like who's that one-two punch for sure?
Right.
Like we're sure of the one-two punch for Cleveland. Like we know what the one-two punch is for them. Who's the one-two punch for Orlando?
So who? Let me look at their roster to see who do they have. See, okay, didn't they get someone in the free agent market? Let me see.
They got Caldwell Pope.
They got Caldwell
Uh,
Pope. Let's see. I know they just re-signed Wendell Carter to a 3-year deal. Uh, let's see. Yeah, well, I think in they're depending on the Wagner kid. Uh, they Franz Wagner. He had a pretty good year last year, so I think they're depending on him to step into that second option role. Um, I think that's because he averaged 18.9 points last year. Um, so I'm assuming that's who they're kind of hanging their head on for as this number two option. Now I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to be feasible. To be honest, I know every time Luca want to punch him every time they play him, but yeah, they. So I'm not. Yeah, I just think they. Especially the way that they're coached, they're well coached.
they're they're
Um,
well coached. We just have a lot of question marks about them. Like we're not
yeah,
saying that they're not going to be good. We're saying that we don't know exactly how good they're going to be because we're assuming that they're going to take the next step. But we're wondering who's going to take that step with Paulo.
right.
You know,
Um,
well that's what we're wondering. That's what we're trying to figure out. Like who's going to be that guy?
well, yeah, yeah. I guess that that is uh remain to be determined. Now, what are your thoughts on Milwaukee? Like honestly, with the state that they're in now, um, I
I
think a
mean,
big I think a big blow for them was they lost Drew Holiday. Uh, that I think that took a lot out of their out of them.
I mean, I think that they still can be a top, 5 seed if Giannis is healthy, if Dame is healthy, with the additions of like a Torian Prince, the additions of and then do they still have the what's the shooter they had last year
Who for to my
for the Milwaukee?
the
What was
shooter?
that shooter? What
For
was his name?
Milwaukee.
I'm gonna
You
have to
talking about
pull up
Jay
the
Crowder?
roster. No.
Who you talking about? What
Uh,
shooter? They got Pat Connaughton.
Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up their. Let me pull up their roster.
So yeah, they got Torian Prince now. Oh, Gary Trent Jr.
Gary Trent Jr. So like adding guys like that coming off the bench with firepower. Um, you still got Bobby Portis. Um,
Yeah. But who's their starting five? I mean, I know we have Dame, Giannis, and
you're gonna
Brooke
have Brooke,
and
and
Middleton.
then
So I guess who's
you're
their
gonna
starting
have
two?
Middleton. They probably gonna put Torian Prince maybe there.
Mm, okay. Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
which is a solid lineup to surround your two best players with.
Right.
Um, like I said, they gonna be competitive. They gonna if they stay healthy. Giannis last year, caught the injury bug and he was out for the playoffs.
Right.
And then also, uh, excuse me, a big question mark. Do you think that Doc is the right coach?
That's why I initially asked what Milwaukee is going to be because if we're going by his track record, um, it ain't too great in the postseason. Regular season, fine, great, but when he gets in that postseason and it gets tight, and his inability to adjust, like it's just like really stubborn, that hurts. and the and the
I
and the
mean,
great coaches, that's what separates the good coaches from the. I would say great coaches is their ability to adjust and adjust on the fly. And he's proven time and time again his inability or his refusal to adjust. Um, and I think that may be the factor that may keeps them from that deep playoff run. Um,
oh, I don't have them outshining nobody in front of them. That I got. Remember, I got them at 5. So
wow.
the teams that I have in front of them, I don't have them outshining none of them teams because of Glenn. I don't have them outshining none of them.
Well, what
Glenn.
what
We already know he dirty macked his way into the position.
yeah, I mean Dirty Mac for about a year. Till he got back in that thing. No,
And so
it's
I don't have them above none of those guys. I don't have them above New York, above Philly, above Boston. Even I don't even have them above Indiana.
eh,
I think Rick Carlisle with out coaching,
that's facts.
and I think Indiana cohesiveness. They play more like a team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everybody know their role on that team, and so I really have them, ahead of them. I have Indiana at that 4th seed.
Well, it's one team that I noticed that neither one of us mentioned. What are your thoughts on Atlanta? Do you think they're playing? team, or they're gonna miss it altogether.
Man, you talking about you talking about doing everything you can do to make yourself a bargain basement team? That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta. You talking about a team that's sorry on their own accord. Like you're not good on your own accord because of the things that you consistently do. Like
So,
you make
so
a trade for DeJounte Murray instead of making a trade for someone who will pair well with Trey Young. You go and get another guard who rivals him in the backcourt, who wants the ball in him. DeJounte Murray is a point guard. Trey
hmm
Young, point guard. Like you didn't go get a shooting guard. You didn't go get a stretch four. You didn't go get you didn't go get none of these things. You went and got that piece and then wonder why it didn't work. And then you trade away the piece, didn't really bring nothing back for the piece.
mm-mm.
Outside of Trey Young, who do they really have?
If you Trey Young, do you request a trade at this point? Because I mean, they're not even really getting giving him a chance to be competitive.
I think after this season, I think he will. I believe he's going to request a trade. It's been kind of hard for him to request a trade because he's been injured.
Injured, yeah.
So it's kind of hard to request a trade when you're not playing. A team, it's hard for a team to trade an injured player. You're going to say, I want out, but you're hurt. You're not going to pass nobody's physical or anything like that. So he has to play as well as get your stock up too. So teams will want to take a chance on you.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the roster now, man, and it's just,
You ain't got to tell me. I know
man, this is rough.
they worse than Charlotte Hornet. Charlotte
Yeah,
Charlotte Hornets are entertaining
they are. I would put them as a playing team. Um, they got
for
some good,
sure.
good young pieces there. Of course, you got Melo coming back. Then you got what's the
Hmm.
young kid, Brendan? What's his
I
last
like
name?
him. Um, what is the young guy name? Miller,
Brandon Miller. He's good.
Brandon Miller.
Then you got Miles Bridges.
Hmm.
Man, they still got Taj Gibson. Man, Taj Gibson is 56 years old.
Who he play for?
Charlotte,
I guess they just wanted to bring a veteran in.
I guess so, man. I guess so. Yeah, they got some nice, good pieces, man. On their roster. Still got Cody Martin over there. Um, you got Seth Curry, got that shooter. And they got your boy Grant Williams over there, man. Let him run amok over there. Um,
Big body Grant. He's a good piece.
Kadoosh.
He's a good piece to have coming off the bench,
hmm
but he should not be a starting piece. And
Man,
that's why Boston moved him to the bench.
I'm so glad we got off that contract. So glad. Got that 13 mil. Sheesh. And he did not mesh. Wait, you talking about talking your way off the team?
I mean, it wasn't even just talking his way off the team.
Man.
It was, it's ultimately his play. Um, because had he been balling, he wouldn't have went nowhere.
No, I know that, but I mean, the talking definitely didn't help.
I mean, the talking just was a cherry on top. It was his play. People was already saying like, man, what we gonna do with Grant Williams? Because man, he can't shoot. He ain't strapping nothing. Like, what we gonna do? He not
Let's
athletic.
see.
He's short. He don't grab a ton of rebounds.
No, well, he about 6'4", roughly.
Something like
Uh,
something like that. Trying to play the power forward position.
what do you think about Miami? Because we didn't say too much about. Well, we didn't say anything about Miami. Um, do you think they're kind of just done um, at this
I think
point, or do you think they're gonna do a
Miami
little
always
something?
be
Or
they'll always be competitive. Um, I think Miami can take another step if they put Bam in his rightful position. If they take him out of the five and put him at the four.
they don't really have another five. I mean, they have Thomas Bryant, but man, they really don't have another. Five. Well, they
Didn't
got
they
these
drop
other.
one?
They got a what's his name? Kiel or Kaleo Weir. Um,
I thought they had dropped one that was pretty good.
then Warren Washington out of Texas Tech. Um, not really, man. They really don't have no centers. I don't understand that. You got all these wings, but not really a center. That
Well, if
wasn't
they
too
want to take a
smart.
they want to take a step, Bam needs to go back to the
The
power
four.
forward position,
Hmm.
and he would have much more of an advantage.
He would thrive.
He already can guard well on the perimeter,
Hmm.
um, and so if they did that, they'll see Bam. He'll really be like an all-star type of player
Right.
for what he can do. If they put him back in his rightful position,
Yeah. Yeah. But so, do you think they make the chip? The play in, or do you think they're just gonna miss it altogether?
um, I think I think they can get in if they stay healthy. Last year Jimmy Butler got hurt. He's gonna have to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, I think they can get in because I'm a big fan of Eric Spoelstra.
Hmm.
Um, he can really coach, man, and I believe if he has a healthy team, I believe he can at least get them to the playoffs.
Well, do you think they can do that, especially with the rift that Jimmy Butler and Pat Riley was having over the summer? Or do you think that was more so just hype on, he said this and I said this and that's pretty much it? Or do you think it's going to carry, excuse me, carry over into the season?
I think Jimmy gonna hoop regardless. Um, but I do think it was something there. I'm not gonna say it's not nothing there. Whenever the owner does call you out, that means there's something there. Um, but Jimmy, his mentality, he's not uh, fickle like that to where he just breaks to pieces. You know, if ownership, because we seen him and Eric Spoelstra go at it. I mean, they go at it
Yeah,
like they finna go to blows,
blows. Yeah,
and they end up going to a finals.
yeah. The same year. Yeah,
So Jimmy is not that type of player. Like if Jimmy on the floor, he's gonna play, man. And but I don't think that Jimmy will probably be there next year.
is he in the final year of his deal?
I think so.
Mm,
So I think it's gonna be a
yeah.
big Jimmy sweepstakes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I think it's gonna be a big Jimmy sweepstakes out there. Who can get him?
Who can get him? Yeah, I think he may be one to come west.
Yeah,
It'll be a
we
lot of
know the Lakers.
suitors, that's for sure.
We know the Lakers gonna be trying to get the
Hey,
Lakers.
especially after the year they about to have. You're gonna have to get them. Um, what do you think them? I just gotta see. What you think? I already know the answer. These
Who was that?
Wizards. How
Oh
bad
my.
how
Oh my. Oh
how bad do you think they're gonna be?
boy,
Like we
that's
know they're gonna be bad. I just want to know how bad.
it's gonna be hard to watch, man. Like
Is it? Are we looking
who?
lottery?
Oh, for sure. They was in a lot of this past year. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. They got. I believe they got a top two pick this year. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah. So they got Marvin Bagley, Sadiq Bey,
They got the team of the unwanteds.
Malcolm Brogdon. Wow.
They got.
Rashawn
They got.
Holmes,
They got everybody on the team is a contender team game away.
Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole. Your boy Jordan Poole. Yeah,
Now
they gonna.
Jordan Poole is an interesting. That's an interesting thing there, man. Because like with him going there, I thought for sure he will be going off on the scoring tip. Now I didn't think they would be good, but I thought that he would be putting up at least close to 25 points. Um, with the thing, but man, that punch from Draymond, boy, it knocked all the talent out that boy. He don't know if he
He
coming or going.
he he don't. He's just not the same. Once your mental is messed up, man, it's and in his case, it seems to be the case where his mental is just not there. At least last year wasn't, and he just
Well, that's the thing. Like he can never get aggressive with nobody
hmm
because they know you're not about that.
hey, it's just like I think it was Kenyon Martin on Gil's Arena. Shout out to Gil's Arena, future friend of the podcast. Um, he's you just gonna haul off and just hit somebody and get kicked out of the game. You got to get your respect back. You have zero respect around the league. Um, it's gonna take something kind of drastic like that. If you want to try to be that guy
I think
again. Um,
I think he need to fight somebody.
that's what I'm saying. He's going to he's going to just take one and fight somebody and
One one game when they play the Warriors, he just need to go and tackle Draymond and just fight him.
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
He
I
just,
mean,
he just need
Draymond,
to do it.
don't do that. Don't do that.
He
The man,
he just need to do it.
mm-mm,
I'm just saying he just need to do it. For
don't do that.
it has to be Draymond because for his own psyche, it just can't be just no other random individual that don't have nothing to do with nothing.
Man, this man
Draymond,
Draymond is an MMA fighter. And we ain't seen that man punch. We ain't seen him kick. We ain't seen him
Dray,
put people in
Dray,
grapples. That man's an MMA fighter.
Draymond, he's the type of guy that if he respects you,
Yeah, he'll rock with you.
he'll rock with you. Like even if you're on the opposite team, like
Hmm
if he got respect for you, like he will only take his aggressiveness so far.
Far, yeah,
But it's when you lose his respect, when he feel like you lose his respect or he don't respect you, or he putting hands on you and feet.
that's why I said that man an MMA fighter, man. That man, we ain't seen him stomp somebody out, kick somebody. He can grapple somebody from one end of the court to the other end of the court. The one hit a
Oh, he
quitter.
he he
He
choked the
does it
snot out of
all.
Rudy.
He does it all. I don't know if I could recommend that, man. I think if it was
That's
anybody
why.
else,
That's
yeah.
why. That's
But
what it has to be. It has to be Draymond.
but
Like he
what if
has
it
to
happens
do that.
again? If it happens again, then you done. You
The
got to go
the
overseas.
the the biggest issue that people had with the video was he didn't fight back. That was the
He
biggest issue.
he was asleep.
Even when he woke up. Like he didn't fight back.
He he wasn't sleeping no more. He got his rest. He didn't want to go back
Like
to sleep.
when it when when he woke up, you went through a whole season with this guy. Y'all sharing lockers. You ain't throw a shoe at him or nothing.
He just snuck him or something.
Like he should have went. He should have went old school, waiting to exhale. I mean, slashing his tires, keying his car.
Oh
He
man,
should have did so much to that boy to where he should have did so much to
should have been a
Draymond to where
menace.
he running from Draymond in the arena. He should have ran from him every day and just beat him up. Just mess with Draymond and just run from him every day.
Yeah, he got to do something, man. No, I don't know
He
if
got
he.
to do something to get that back, cause ain't no way you go the whole rest of the season and this man don't put you to sleep on camera.
Man. Nah, you got to do something, man. Yeah, because he's at 0 stars right now for his respect.
You know, you got to slip him a laxative or something. And while he
Yeah,
in the
what?
bathroom, you talk noise to him outside the bathroom.
He said, "What you gonna do now? You was out here
And just
now.
tell him like, hey, it's more where that came from. You ate all that meal, didn't you?
How is it coming?"
Man, he gonna have to do something, man. You can't let that guy in the sports world, man. You can't let that guy
Mm-mm.
put his hands on you like that. You're
Nah,
gonna have to
man.
go get that back. And I think he can get away with it because I think he's gonna catch Draymond by surprise. I think
Pro-
Draymond might bust out laughing. Like if he
like, did he
swung
really
off on
just?
Draymond, I think Draymond will bust out laughing like he really swung on me. Like you
Oh
got to do
man.
one of those old school fight videos like they used to fight in the NBA where they would go up and
Mm-hmm.
swing and then they just
Swing.
run backwards, wait for
I d-
somebody to break it up
Bring it up, yeah. And what Charles Barkley did, hit him with that ball.
all the time. He's like, I know somebody gonna come break it up. That's exactly what you gotta do. He knew he
See,
couldn't beat Shaq up, but he knew that if I hit Shaq and I by myself at least 5 seconds, somebody gonna break it up.
break it up. No, man. Yeah. Do you think he ought to kind of go rogue a little bit this year, where it's just not Draymond, but kind of just be chippy to kind of gain that back,
No,
or
he
does
gonna
it
get
just
beat
have
up.
to?
You can't do that. You can't do that until you get your get back from Draymond.
So it's all
Nobody's going for it.
so it's all stars with Draymond.
If you were hooping against Jordan Poole and Jordan Poole said something spicy to you, you gonna look at him like, dude,
Shut up, shut up. You
do
shut
you
up.
want to go sleep again? We know you're not about that.
You got a glass chin, young man.
We know we know you're not like that. No one is going to respect his chippiness. No one is going to,
Mm-mm.
respect his aggressiveness because they know there's nothing behind this aggression. Like
Man.
you're just blowing hot air.
And what's so crazy about it, as talented as he is, he's only 25.
He can say he can save it though. So Jordan Poole, if you're out there, man, if you so happen to come by this podcast, you so happen to drop, to hear a clip of this, I'm endorsing on the Let That Be Known podcast that when y'all play Golden State Warriors, you get your lick back from Draymond and you backpedal. This is a hot take. You put your hands on that man to save your career. Jordan Poole, if you do that, I guarantee you'll get some more respect in the league. You need to do it. You don't even have to close fist hit this man. You can slap this man.
It's something.
It can't be a push. You can't push him. That's not
No.
enough because you
Mm-mm.
went to sleep.
Right.
You gotta slap him or you gotta punch him or you gotta tackle this man.
No, you can't, man. This man's a grappler, man. He's done it
No, I'm not
all.
saying I'm not. I'm talking about one of those Ray Lewis hits where you don't wrap up.
You
You
just
just
spear
come
him.
through there and just, just now you don't want to fall on top of him where he can grab you and you end up getting up off the floor. You ain't got no jersey on no more. You don't want that to happen.
Man, you gonna tear his
That's
shoulder
gonna
up trying to do that.
you gonna take two. Man, you gonna be known, man. We trying to get you. We trying to
Trying to
get
get
your
your
career going back in the right direction.
you gotta get your manhood back. No, man, this
You got to, man, cause the way you playing, man, you got too much talent. You got too much offensive talent, man.
no, man, this yeah, he got to do something, man. Um, especially us, where we grew up, man. You can't have something like that and expect to still, hang around. You're gonna have to you're gonna fight for your respect back because right now nobody respects you.
No, no,
Um,
you'll never be able to come to the park again.
mm-mm.
If somebody put their hands on you and you don't do nothing, or you don't even attempt to fight back,
Fight back. Mm-hmm.
you can't come back to that park.
I think, and that and that's the thing. You at least have to give the attempt. Excuse me.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
yeah, and, and his dad should have told him like, look, son, I know you ain't much of a fighter, but you gonna have to fight back. You can't. You can't just let that roll.
His daddy should have helped him come up with a strategy.
I mean, getting some type of boxing classes or some type of self defense or something. Make a revenge plan or something.
Man, put some
You don't
high eye in his shorts or something, man.
something. You don't just sit there and just take that and then just seeing this guy every day and knowing that the guy here has slept you in the whole world know it and seen it. Mm-mm. Nah, I just can't. I just can't see myself just myself alone, just being able to be in that type of environment, um, and not at least trying to do something about it. But these young cats, man, they different nowadays, man. But I blame his father, man. You, I do. You raised them like that. I guess he ain't never had to fight for nothing. Yeah, he probably grew up in a pretty, privileged neighborhood and just never
But
had to
but he
the
he
adversity
all
like that.
he always talked the good talk. Um, Especially when we used to play when Dallas used to play the Warriors. I mean, he would be talking crazy, like, and I used to always wonder, like, man, he talking spicy like this, like, you know,
E- But
if,
but
some- if somebody would do something to him, I don't think he can back that up.
man, that's that front runner mentality, man. That's that front runner mentality.
And so he got to talking spicy to Draymond. And Draymond was like, "Hey, man,
You know, when you gonna do when you get punched in the mouth? Oops, that happened. You didn't do nothing. So, man, at some point you're going to have to
man,
fight,
you
man.
Jordan Poole, you gonna go get him back, man." He walking around with your talent and your heart.
Because they got it on the chain. Yeah, go snatch that chain back. 'Cause, yeah, yeah, somebody that as talented as he is and as young as he is,
You
ain't
know
no way.
how much your fandom would go up if you did what I tell you to do? How much people will want to watch you play,
Yeah, root for you, man.
even if it don't work out well, just for the simple fact
We know it ain't gonna
that
work
you
out well.
that you
Mm-mm.
tried. People would be like, man, at least he tried to get his get back. He tried to get it. People just want to know you got that fight in you.
Fighting you. Yup. Facts. And that's why I said that's why I blame his father. You ain't got no type of fight in you, man.
You know, my grandma, she used to say, "Oh, y'all worry about the wrong things. You young kids, we old school. See, y'all don't want to fight nobody unless y'all think y'all can win.
Mm-hmm.
See, back in the old school, if we get mad, we didn't care who it was. We was finna fight, whether we thought we was gonna win or not. We fought because of the principle,
Principle, right?
regardless of who it was.
You're not gonna
New
run up with
school,
me.
no, yeah, new school, and they not. I'm not fighting unless I think I can win.
No, man. Especially like I said, where we grew up, man. He would be fresh meat, man. They'd take his lunch money every day, shoes, clothes.
Yeah, man, they'll get you. They'll
You
get
know,
you to be ramshacking your locker.
come on over here. Come on over here. You know what time it is.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
open your locker up. I need to get something out of there.
facts. Yeah, get
I
all your lunch
indeed
money.
seen this in school.
Yep.
Seen
Nah,
people
man.
stealing people, taking people's school supplies out their locker. Hey, I need them pencils. I
Facts.
need them notebooks.
No books.
I need
Yep.
those. Like, man, hey, man, don't let that man take your notebooks.
Nope. Gonna take it.
Oh man, they don't cost that much. I was like, it don't matter how much. It's the
Matter.
principle.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts. Nah, man. This
He 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 not asking. He taking.
he's taking it with no resistance. Nah, but it's different, man. But that's the world we live in, man. I just I guess it's the I guess because of me getting older, it just irritates me now. Seeing something like that, just no fight, no pride about yourself. It is what it is,
Yeah.
man. But do you have any final thoughts, final words, man, before we wrap this up?
No, we thank everybody for watching. We thank you for everyone that's tuning in. Don't forget to leave your remarks in the chat. Don't forget to leave anything that you wanna let us know or you want us to talk about on the show. Leave that in the chat as well. Like, subscribe, share. Um, as we're gonna continue to grind, continue to put out content. Um, just get with us, stick with us, and become part of the Let That Be Known family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we definitely appreciate you all for rocking with us, getting on board. We're just starting out, but appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Don't forget to leave your top 8 in the East in the chat so we can discuss it on our next episode on Monday, which we will cover the Mavericks next preseason game against the Clippers. Now we will do our post game show for the Sunday game against the Lions, the Cowboys against the Lions after their game there. So that'll probably be around 7 8:30ish, roughly, Central Standard Time. So we'll go live for that and give our honest and live reactions on that as well. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on, of course, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter X a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But we definitely appreciate you all. Like, share, and subscribe. And we are out. Y'all be
Peace
easy.
out, everybody.
Y'all take it easy.